here and there. What are you going to do? It's what happens, right? So,
it's as much as we've done this in the past 2 years, you'd think it'd get a little easier, but
I know.
Yeah, I can't say.
We're running fiber
really
here.
has.
It's like we can't get any faster internet. So I don't know. It is what it is. But
you're running fiber. Well, I'm on a cellular internet connection out here, so it's it can get a little confusing. So I don't know. I've been lucky with this cellular signal though. I had satellite internet before, and it was horrible, absolutely horrible.
All right, so, everybody's commenting.
Looks like we're on. Go ahead.
Guys, thank you for joining us again. Hopefully this connection feed stays nice and strong throughout the remainder of the show. Welcome to the Time to Dive show. My name's Tim. This is John with OTS. We are very excited to put on this show again for you guys every half an hour. We are going to go ahead and do a little raffle giveaway. You're going to see the link dropped here in just a moment. We're doing that $1,000 giveaway tonight. Another $1,000 giveaway tomorrow, along with that trip to St. Croix. I think the last time we looked, we were up to like 17 or 1,800 people that are in the raffle thus far. So that's super cool. Love everybody that's participating. Yeah. So John, you ready? Let's do it. So we're
yeah, I think I'm ready. We'll give it a start anyway. Are presenters eligible to win the raffle?
You sure can. Throw your name in the link, and yeah, we'll see how luck has it.
Yeah, I could use a trip someplace. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot, Tim. Welcome everybody. This is our second year of doing it. A little different than I did last year. Last year I had a green screen all set up and all kinds of fancy stuff in the background. This year I'm doing it from my little home studio where I teach technician courses here for Ocean Technology Systems. Now, a little background information. Ocean Technology Systems, we're the manufacturer of full face masks. This being the Spectrum is sort of our latest full face mask. And then we also have the Guardian, which is very well known. This is a mask you see all over Shark Week and Discovery Channel on Bering Sea Gold is one. Gold Rush is another one. So we're all over television with that. But to give you a little background, again, my name's John Hott. I'm the training director for Ocean Technology Systems. I've been with the company for 22 years now. The company's been around since 1984, and we're an underwater communications company, and we started out, and we still are an underwater communications company, the leading underwater communications company in the world. We're suppliers for probably 95% better for public safety around the country, domestically and also internationally. And also we're on the AMU, or now the ANU again, approved for Navy use, that the militaries use our product really around the world, and a lot here in the United States as well. Every branch of the military, that being Coast Guard, Air Force, Army, mostly Special Forces and engineer divers, and then also the Marine Corps, and then the U.S. Navy, and all branches, all diving activities within the U.S. Navy. We have our products within that. But to give you a little background, again, we've been in business since 1984. We started out as an underwater communications company, and we really evolved into full face masks for some place to be able to put our microphone into, and the little red thing in there is our microphone. So that you can articulate. And that sort of gets into why we dive full face masks. This isn't going to be so much a sales pitch as sort of an education thing. I want you guys to learn about full face masks and underwater communications, and then you can look into it to whatever fits the specific needs. So the reasons why we dive full face masks, we have three reasons, and sort of a fourth reason that we dive full face masks. Number one, for public safety divers, and no particular order here, but for public safety divers, environmental protection is a huge requirement. The divers are diving in, PSD, or public safety divers, and commercial divers are diving in water that a lot of us wouldn't want to really get into. I mean, it's not necessarily pleasant water where you take your kids swimming and so forth. So environmental protection. And so when they have a full face mask sealed over top of the latex hood, as an example, for dry suits and attached dry gloves, you're afforded a layer of protection and total encapsulation against any contaminants that are in that water. Now, Cold water also falls into that, extremely cold water. So if you're not exposing your skin to that cold water, well, obviously you see the advantages of that. So that's environmental protection. There's more to that, but I'm going to make it kind of brief on that. Physiological protection is another reason that we dive full face mask. So if for whatever reason a diver goes unconscious underwater with a full face mask sealed to your face, you have that breathable environment that's strapped to your face. So unconscious, you're not going to lose your bite mouthpiece, as an example. You think about the diving accidents that have occurred out there. The reports are a diver found on the bottom without their oxygen mouthpiece because they don't know we breathe air, or appropriate gases for your depth, without their mouthpiece in their mouth and brought to the surface, and so on and so forth. With a 5-point strapping system, and as long as you have air in your cylinder, and that's not why you went unconscious in the first place, you do have that breathable environment strapped to your face. So you are afforded an opportunity of survival. There's other reasons for physiological, TMJ, if somebody has jaw problems, people that wear dentures. We also have handicapped divers and a lot of challenge divers that may have difficulty with clearing a regular mask and holding a bite mouthpiece in their mouth. With a full face mask, they're all positive pressure when you go underwater because of the position of the regulator to the airspace. Long explanation of that I'll skip over. If you have any questions about that, we can talk about it at the end. So physiological protections, whatever reason that a diver, again, may go unconscious or have difficulty holding standard equipment in place, and is another reason. Now that's two. So the third reason, again, I've already touched on the third reason, and that's for a place for us to put our microphone into so that a diver can articulate into the electronics of the underwater communications. The sun just came out and changed my contrast here, so pardon me about that. So with a full face mask, you have that oral nasal pocket that allows you to be able to articulate into, so that the electronics can do what they do for transmitting either through water or through a wireless system. And I'll talk about communications here in a little bit, and we'll talk about wireless and hardwire communications and their applications to what you might be doing as a diver. We have built comms in bite mouthpieces of regulators. We call those mumble comms, and we've done it for rebreathers as well, where we have a microphone mounted in the dive surface valve or the DSV of a rebreather. Usually that's for military applications or other special purpose applications. And but with a full face mask, it really solves the problem for being able to articulate underwater. So that's where we got into underwater communications, or into full face masks, was for us to have a basis or a platform to put our communications into. So keeping that in mind. Now, then there's a fourth reason that we dive them, and that's simply for the enjoyment of it. I mean, it's we enjoy diving full face masks because you're not holding that bite mouthpiece. It's easy to clear. There's no water around your nose. You can chew gum underwater. You can talk underwater, obviously, where the communications comes into play. And it is something that it takes, for a lot of people, it does take a little bit of an introduction to full face mask, meaning that you might not enjoy the first dive. It's going to be a little weird or awkward, especially if you've been diving for a good while. It is different. The sensation is different when you get into the water, but once you get used to diving a full face mask, it's kind of hard to go back for some people. It just depends. Everybody's going to be different. We do have a lot of the sport industry that's really up and coming, where we've been primarily in the history of the company, we've been public safety, commercial diving, and military applications, but the sport market is rising very fast. So let's talk about a couple of the full face masks that we have out there. Now, in the history of the company, I have back here an Interspiro mask, which I won't get into that too much, but it's a mask that really established us in full face masks, in that we had a good relationship with Interspiro, and then later on we decided to develop our own. I'm going to change some lighting here. Hang on just a second. that threw my contrast way off there. It was annoying me. But we decided to develop our own full face mask. And back in 2008, we introduced the Guardian full face mask. And it's got some unique features in it that when we came out with the full face mask that we wanted to introduce in, or that we wanted, when we developed it, we wanted in our full face mask. And one is a removable regulator. Now, what I did here is I pushed a button on the inside there and it retracts some springs. And then the regulator, the second stage regulator, then is disengaged from the mask. To engage it, it's a simple matter of plugging the regulator in, giving it a snap, and it locks into place. This regulator is not going to come out unless you push that button, as long as the mask is properly working and maintained. Like anything else, you have to maintain your equipment. You know, it's just like your car. If your wheels fall off, somebody did something wrong. Same thing with this. You make sure everything's maintained well. We have an ambient breathing valve on the mask. I'll go through some of the features of each mask. So we have the removable regulator on the Guardian. We have an ambient breathing valve. Now this ABV, what it does, it allows you, when you open the ABV up, it allows you to breathe ambient air, meaning you're not drawing off of your cylinder. So anytime you put a full face mask on, if you don't have something like an ABV, you're going to be breathing your tank down. So if you're on the surface waiting for somebody, you're wasting your air. With the ABV, you can open it up and you can breathe while you're waiting. You can be all kitted up on the boat waiting for your buddy to get ready, or in public safety diving, if you're a standby diver, you can sit there on your milk crate waiting in standby mode, ready to go if your primary diver down needs help, and you can deploy rapidly just by closing the ABV. Simple matter of just a couple of twists of your wrist, and you're in the water, chasing your diver down to assist them. The Guardian has a V block on the inside that allows you to equalize. That's probably one of the most common questions we get. And I'm not looking at the questions now that we're getting here, so as they pop up, but it may be in the feed here. One of the most common questions is, how do you equalize? Well, we've got a rubber V block on the inside of the mask. I'll pop this one out, and this is what it looks like, and it's adjustable. It's got a high and low setting, and we have different wire forms that go inside the mask. And then it's got these, I call them butterflies. So they're bigger. We have larger and smaller of these, so you can custom fit this to where it rests right underneath your nose, and it should ride right underneath your nostrils, so you can breathe normally while you're swimming around. And then to equalize, all you're going to do is push on the mask, that collapses it up until it closes your nostrils off, and it's very comfortable. And once you get it set up, it's really easy. You just push on the mask and push here. You can push it however you need to push on it, and you can Valsalva that way by blowing against that block. So if you think about the V, if you put your fingernails together, there you got that V, and that'll simulate that very well. A lot of people will find that you can equalize your ears pretty easy if you can clear without pinching your nose. And I know people that can just drop like a rock to do that, and they don't have to pinch their nose. But it is easier to wiggle your jaw and to pop your ears with a full face mask than it is with a bite mouthpiece regulator. So that's something to keep in mind. So that's one of the features of the Guardian. It's a monoskirt design with a polycarbonate lens, and all of our masks are set up for communications, oddly enough, because we're an underwater communications company. Again, I described that the microphone, the waterproof microphone on the inside, allows you to articulate. So with this, we can attach an ear microphone assembly, which is what this is. An ear microphone assembly has dual earphones, one on each side, and then the microphone. The push to talk button here is to activate the wireless comms, which we're going to talk about here in just a couple of minutes. But this whip goes to either a hardwire communications, or you can plug it into our new PowerComm 3000, which is that shows backwards. At least I see it as backwards. I think it might be right for you guys. So, but this is our high-powered wireless communication system, transmits a through-water signal. We'll talk about wireless and hardwire here in a minute. So this is your microphone assembly. We also have another mask here that has a buddy phone on it. This is a Spectrum mask. I'll go through the Spectrum mask here in a minute too. This is a buddy phone. Now our buddy phone is a wireless communication system that takes a 9-volt battery, has a transducer. This is the knob looking thing here, basically your antenna, if you will. And then it's got an earphone on the back. and then it cables down to a push to talk button, because it's just like a walkie-talkie. You push to talk. It's half duplex is what we refer to that as. When you push to talk to transmit, you let off to listen. If you're transmitting, you're not listening. If you're listening, you can't transmit. And again, the microphone is on the inside of the mask here. So that's a buddy phone, just a quick grab it and go. You've got everything right there. Relatively low power, as the name implies. It's for talking to your buddy. But as I mentioned earlier, this is the Guardian mask set up with an ear microphone assembly. The same communications for the Guardian mask is what we use. I'll pick the Spectrum up here. I have 2 Spectrum masks. I have one. This is my personal mask. I have it set up because I'm old, and it's got a magnifier in the lens there and on the visor there to help me see my gauges. So the same masks, the same comms go for either mask. So the comm ports are set up identically, the straps are identical, and you can put a buddy phone that goes on Guardian on the Spectrum, and vice versa. Same with the ear microphone assembly. The ear microphone assembly that goes to the Guardian fits the Spectrum. So it's commonality of components when it comes to that. So this is the Spectrum mask. Now, I mentioned that the Guardian has a second stage regulator that's integrated. I'm going to back up just a minute because I did forget to cover that. The integrated second stage regulator is that comes with the mask. It has a particular airflow that when you inhale, it pulls in on the diaphragm, and all the air that you inhale comes through this vent in the regulator. And there's a pair of nostrils underneath here in the what we call the mouthpiece port of the lower frame of the mask. And when you inhale, all that air is injected up through a pair of vents underneath each eye. That draws air across the visor and defogs the mask. So it's just like the defogger in your car. With every breath, it's drawing dry scuba air across your visor. Then you inhale down through a pair of check valves in the oral nasal pocket, and you can sort of see the check valves in there. But you inhale down through those check valves, and then check valves do what check valves do, in that when you exhale, it closes that check valve out up, and then it forces your exhausted air to come out through the vents in the back, the exhaust vents in the back of the regulator, so that the exhausted air vents to the rear of the mask. Those are some of the features, plus the double-edged seal. The mask just fits really well. We fit with one size mask. We fit more people with one size mask than any other one mask out there in a single size. So those are some of the features of the Guardian. Now, to the Spectrum. The Spectrum we came out with, it's been 7 years ago now that we came out with the Spectrum. The Spectrum we sort of designed for the sport market, although it's kind of biting into every market. Even some militaries are looking at it. It's designed that you put your own regulator in it. Now, the differences between this and the Guardian is that this does not have a defog feature in it. So you have to apply defog like you do any other mask, like your other half masks. You'll put baby shampoo or, frog spit or, 500 PSI or whatever that stuff, all the different commercial defoggers, or baby shampoo. I have a tendency to use baby shampoo. So you have to apply that to the inside lens. It's a glass lens, where the Guardian has a polycarbonate lens. Now, if you're a prescription glass wearer, these are just my reading glasses, but I do have prescription glasses. If you're a prescription glass, if you have corrective lenses, you can have lenses bonded to this. So you can go to like Linda at Prescription Dive Masks, and she can take your prescription and she can bond your prescription lenses to the glass lens. You can't do that with polycarbonate, and that's any polycarbonate lens you can't do that with because of thermal contraction. If you get in the cold water, the polycarbonate will shrink in the cold, and it'll literally delaminate your bonded lenses. So we have an eyewear insert that goes into that. But with this, so if somebody wears prescription lenses, then I do recommend the Spectrum for that. And I'll be honest with you, the Guardian, it was kind of my baby. I came up with the original concept of it. Of course, there was a big design team of it. So when we developed it, the Spectrum, not so much. My fingerprints are on it, but it's been out there for a little while. But I have to admit that it's kind of rapidly becoming my favorite full face mask. I've been diving this mask more lately than I have the Guardian mask. The thing about the Spectrum is it's just crazy comfortable. It's just really, really comfortable. With the Spectrum, you put your own regulator in it. And I have second stages over here, but as you can see in this one, I've got an older Ziegel and I've got a couple of APEKS regulators, which APEKS is coming up here. I've got a couple of APEKS regulators, and you can install just about any regulator can be installed into this. There are some exceptions, of which I don't have a list, but there are some exceptions that don't fit very well. But you put your own second stage in it. It does. You can get an ABV. It's an option for this, an ABV that mounts to the side opposite of the push to talk button. It operates a little bit different, but it does the same thing. Is it allows you, when you seal the mask, that you can open this up and you can breathe ambient air while you're on the surface. These are not to be confused with snorkels. You can't swim face down. Your face has to be out of the water with this. With the Guardian mask, if you leave it open accidentally, I've gone through the entire dive and not noticed until I step up on the ladder, reach up and open my ABV to find out I never closed it in the first place. If you pike and you put your ABV on the Guardian mask lower than the diaphragm of the regulator, in other words, if you do this underwater, you're going to find out really fast that you left your ABV open. With the Spectrum, you do need to close it before you get in the water, but it's a simple matter of just reaching up and giving it a twist, and it's open, it's closed. So that's the Spectrum mask. So these are our full face masks. That's 2 of them. We've covered 20 minutes of our time so far on that. Let's talk about underwater communications real quick. So with underwater communications, we have several different means to be able to talk underwater. And for different applications, if you go to aquariums, they're doing interactive diver programs. They're using a hardwire communication system for 99% of their shows, their interactive diver shows, where you go in and the docent can talk to the diver in the tank, and he can talk back to you. He or she can talk back to you. And the Guardian is really the standard of the industry for that. So again, what that does is this goes out and this plugs into a comm rope, which I was looking for my comm ropes, but I think I loaned them to my partner who's here in Panama City Beach. And because I couldn't find mine, I think I loaned them to Joe. But this plugs into a hardwire that runs cable, just as described, as the name implies. It runs wire to the surface and it goes into an intercom that way. So it's a very simple method. We have 2 wires and we have 4 wire. With a 4 wire system, there's 2 wires going through your microphones, 2 wires going through your earphone. Your microphone, just think of it, it's really easy to think of this way. Your microphone, 2 wires are going to their earphones, and their microphones are coming down to your earphones. Real simple to think of it that way. With a wireless system now, and that's pretty much your limits on hardwire. In a lot of different applications, commercial, umbilical diving, search and rescue, where they need to be on a line anyway because they're running search patterns and stuff like that. Plus, it's easy to find your diver in dark water if he's on the end of the line. It's so it's a good idea to have your divers on the end of a rope and as long as you have a rope running to them, you might as well run copper to them so that you can be able to talk. Now, as I described earlier with the buddy phone, what did I do with the buddy phone? I just set it down back here. With the buddy phone, this is a wireless system. Again, I went through the basics of the wireless system, in that you got a battery to power the system, you got a speaker to listen, a microphone to talk, and then the antenna is this transducer. So it's sort of like a depth sounder. We don't use RF, we don't use radio, we use a sonar signal to transmit our communications from one transceiver to the other transceiver, and we have an assortment of different transceivers. This being a buddy phone, it puts out about a half a watt of energy. I didn't say that earlier, but I did say lower power, and that it runs off a 9-volt battery. How much energy do you expect to get out of a 9-volt battery? But for what it's intended, talking to your buddy, it's a buddy phone. It's if you're hundreds of yards from your buddy, you're generally wrong. But for that hundreds of yards stuff, we have our new power comms. And the power comm, we have the 3000, we have the power comm 5000 back here, which I won't grab yet. And then we have the power comm 6000. This has roughly a 3,000 yard range under really good conditions. Now, 3,000 yards, we're talking, that's 2 miles and almost. And that's a long ways underwater. It's really kind of crazy when you go out and dive this stuff, that when you talk to somebody long range, now you're waiting for the communications, because it takes a significant amount of time for your sound to get 2 miles, for them to hear you, and then for them to talk back. That's 4 miles round trip for sound. That takes a long time. So think about the lightning and the thunderbolt, how long it takes for you to see the lightning and hear the thunder. So the same principle applies. So this is 25 watts of energy. This is your transducer. The microphone is in the ear microphone assembly that plugs into this, as I described earlier. And again, your transducer, and it has a rechargeable lithium battery pack. This is new. We just introduced this about, I think this is 2 years ago now that we introduced this, and just crazy powerful. Our older system was the SSB 2010, which was 5 watts of energy, which is right back there. And this one is 25 watts. The buddy phone is, well, this is 50 times more powerful, roughly 50 times more powerful than the buddy phone. So 25 watts in this. The 5,000 unit is 35 watts. So we get about 5,000. And these numbers, the conditions vary, and you have to have optimal conditions for us to be able to range out those long distances. But 5,000 yards, 5,000 meters, it kind of rounded up to the other. Then the military unit, and this is we call this the Milcom 6000. This puts out 70 watts of energy. So it's even twice as powerful as our 5,000 unit, and almost 3 times as powerful as the 3,000. This, similar, our older Magnacoms, I've gotten as much as 7.5 kilometers out of that, over 4 miles. And so it's kind of crazy how long the distance you can get out of this. But in the civilian hands now, this is absolutely, the 3000 is absolutely the most powerful underwater communication system that that's available for civilians. There's nothing like this out there. And it took us a long time the 2010 had been out for about 25 years. And when we redesigned this to replace the 2010, I'll be honest with you, I've been doing this for 22 years. We kind of nailed it. We really knocked it out of the park with this. So if you have the needs to talk underwater for long distances, the power comms, they're pretty remarkable. And if we have, there's a YouTube video that somebody just did for us where they were comparing it, and I think we have it linked on our YouTube channel. And he doesn't work for us or anything, and he did a remarkable review, and he did, frankly, a better job than I could have done myself. It's really an excellent. We have a lot of information on our website. Go to our website, oceantechnologysystems.com. Go to videos. Look us up on our YouTube channel. We're all over social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook. Obviously, we're here on Facebook, Instagram, and I think we have a Twitter account. I don't tweet, so I think we have a Twitter account. So. But Tim, I don't know. I didn't see any questions pop up. I'm not sure how this works.
I got a few queued up. So let's answer a few of the questions that you didn't cover in your presentation, which was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, good.
All right, so any
4 minutes to cover that?
Yeah. Any issues with lights, camera on the accessory rail for the Guardian?
Any issues with them? No, they were. No. We like to think they were. The Guardian, what did I do with it? The Guardian with the rail system, this is the rail system that we have, and I don't have any accessories on it right now, but you can mount a GoPro, you can mount lights, there's other cameras, a Paralens and stuff like that you can mount on it. You can put it on both sides, but if you're mounting the camera, here's a helpful hint. Don't put it over where your exhaust is. Otherwise, when you look up at something, there's going to be bubbles all over in front of your lens. So you have to mount it on the side with the ABB, which means it has to come out. But we have adapters and fittings for that, camera mounts that go with that. We have multiple, we have what's called a universal mount. No, not the universal mount. It's not the one I'm talking about. It mounts a camera and a light that we have and stuff like that. So no issues with mounting that. We also have mounts for the Spectrum, which I don't have the mounts on here, but it's got these threaded inserts on the back side of the frame. Threaded insert, and on the top, we have a GoPro mount that goes on the top of the Spectrum mask. So you can mount them off the side, you can mount it in the front, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. So, and go to our website and go to videos and go to called body shadowing, and you can see what it's like. You just take your earphone out of your earphone pocket, put it on the back of your GoPro, and now it listens. The GoPro records all your audio to video. So you're talking. It's really pretty cool. And if you're set up with this anyway, it's a no-brainer. Take your earphone out, put it on the back of your GoPro. It records everything that's said underwater, and it sounds like something came from Shark Week. So,
all right. So we got one more question here from Chris. How many divers can be connected to these wireless units at one time, and are they any good for surface to diver comms as well?
Well, it didn't get into signal propagation, but that's something where we have surface stations. I've got one of our the 5000 here. I've got it set up. It has an earphone, a headset with earphones and a boom microphone. And then the transducer just pops off. Now, it's not easily. It does. It's easy if you know how you're doing it. You don't want to accidentally take this off underwater. That's bad. But so you get your transducer that you put on an extension cord. So instead of plugging this into your mask, you put a headset with a boom microphone on. Now the transducer goes overboard. The unit stays with you. And you've got a surface station. So we call that the communications triangle, where you're surface to diver, diver to diver, diver to surface. So the triangle, right? So as many divers as you have in the water, but only one can talk at a time. So think of them like walkie-talkies and a CB radio or car radio, or your boat, whatever the case may be, your marine van. So only one person can talk at a time. Sometimes if you have multiple people talking, you're going to walk over each other. So you can work that out. But I've done dives with more than a dozen people in the water. When we did the 10th anniversary sinking of the Yukon, I had 15 people in the water on comms. And but only one person could talk at a time. And the surface station is just another radio in the water. Simple as that. It's the surface station is not a repeater or anything like that. So, any other last questions? 30 seconds. Yeah,
and I was just going to say, so we're running out of time here, but we are going to have a breakout room. I'll throw it in Zoom, or I'll throw the link in here. You can join it. You can ask any more questions that you'd like with John.
Are you giving away a mask?
Yeah, we're going to give away a mask too. So anybody that wants to ask John any more questions specific to comms, masks, anything like that, he can help you out with the breakout room. John, I'm going to send you that link in just a moment. Let's give away a mask.
Okay, it's a Spectrum, right?
It is the Spectrum.
We're giving away a Spectrum mask, and your choice of color.
All right, Mark Murphy, congratulations. You're rocking a new full face mask.
So you'll give me his information so he can pick out a color and we can ship it to him, right?
That's exactly right. Guys, in the chat right now is the breakout room for the OTS side, and John will be sending that over to you in just a minute. Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
All right.
Presentation was amazing. We all learn something every time you're out here chatting with us, so we appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Tim. Good.
All right, guys, thanks for joining the Time to Dive show. If you're just joining us, every half hour we do a little raffle giveaway with our new presenter. We also have the $1,000 giveaway tonight, and then tomorrow night after the end of the show, we're then going to raffle away a trip to St. Croix, thanks to Sweet Bottom. So, all right, guys, our next presenter today is APEKS. Let's get this going. John, if you're still with us, take a look at the screen. He's rocking one of the Spectrums. That's awesome. No, hey Chris, we can't hear you yet, buddy. Still can't hear you. I'll let you know when I can. Not yet.
Can you hear me?
So Chris is going to be presenting APEKS. I hear you now.
Okay, we'll just do that.
I hear you perfect.
Fancy little microphone. It's working out. So,
all right. No problem. Just so you know, I can't see. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
There you go. Good.
Perfect. Give us a quick mic check.
Yep, I'm all good. Can you hear me? You can't hear me.
I can't with Chris though.
Let's I'll try this again.
Not a problem.
Apologize. I have a lot of goodies to show you guys.
Mark's asking. Yeah, absolutely. Mark's asking, how do we get in the big giveaway? So every one of the raffles that you enter in, guys, you are automatically entered into the $1,000 giveaway, automatically entered into the big giveaway.
Can you hear me?
Yep, let's do a quick mic check.
Mic check, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I believe I can.
Please, hear me.
I got you.
Okay, good. All right.
We got you.
All right, we got the screen set up. We're ready to go. Fantastic. Hey, guys, how are you? Hope you guys are having fun. I know it's been a long day, but some of you guys probably just got off work. You're probably sitting back with a cold beer, glass of wine, sitting back, and you wanted to see the different brands that are out there. My name's Chris Fuller, and I'm the sales rep for Aqualung, but also for APEKS. And hey, did the Aqualung presentation earlier. We're going to be doing APEKS presentation now. Talk to you about a lot of really unique products. I know I have a short window, so I want to make sure that you guys kind of get to see everything and just give you little tidbits here and there. And then if you have questions and things like that, then we can go ahead and throw it out to the chat room or what may have you. We can follow back up with you, etc. So I want to start off with APEKS. APEKS brand is a technical dive brand. Okay, they make technical dive products everywhere from a kind of a tech recreational, which is sort of somebody that wants to get into tech, but just kind of starting out, just kind of wants to get the feel of it. But even in the tech recreational products, all the way through their technical dive equipment, all the way up through every different category, including something I'm going to show you later, which is our new DSX Trimix computer coming out in July, and we're going to be launching. What I would like to talk to you about today is a little bit of just new products that came out this last year, or came out this year. Sorry, they're coming out right now, and the products are a lot more than there was within Aqualung, so more quantity-wise. So I'll just go ahead and start off with some of just some basic things. We introduced our VX1 mask last year, and we have introducing a new color. This is the orange, and we have the UV cut lens, which you see right there. You can kind of see that glare, that blue, which is perfect for any type of bright environments, even shallow water Caribbean type diving or anywhere where there's bright sun. It's great on the surface, but it's also gives you a lot of vision underwater. Okay, really pulls down that UV rays. And we also have a pure clear lens. And the pure clear lens is a crystal, like a telescopic glass. So there's no green in the glass at all. It's actually crystal clear lens. So we have two lens options. We offer 4 different colors. We have the orange. We also offer a gray. We also offer black, and we also offer white. Okay, and with these 2 lens options, the UV cut and the crystal, it's called pure clear lens. Okay, just a quick overview of the mask. Just to remind you that this is a technical dive mask. Was designed. Obviously, we're not going to have a technical dive snorkel, but I would love to see that. It's always been the running joke going around within APEKS. But one of the nice things about it is that it actually has metal pins, stainless steel pins here, not plastic. Plastic has a tendency to break easier. It also is a lot more affected into the environment when you leave your mask out on the boat, etc. So this is extremely durable, reliable buckle system, which with the retention strap that's on it. The mask itself, the skirt is not too flexible. We make different options, especially in the Aqualung line, and you'll see other products that we carry that have a little bit more flexible on the skirt. This one here, still silicone, but it's at different gradients, okay, different durometers. So it stiffens it up just a little bit. Extremely comfortable because of the wide skirt face that it has on it, but did really well for us. Comes in a nice little hard shell case and comes with a neoprene mask cover. So the neoprene strap cover, neoprene strap cover. So if you have hair, etc., you'll be able to put that on there. It makes it nice and easy and comfortable slide over your head. All right, and that is the VX1 mask. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move these out of the way as we go through the line. One of the another product that we introduced in 2000 a regulator. 2020. We introduced in 2020 a regulator called the MTX-R, and This particular iteration is the same regulator. However, we've added on the control on the end. So the name of this is called the MTX-RC. What's unique about the MTX-R regulator is that it's your typical APEKS quality, overbalanced regulator that gives you more air the deeper you go diving. It's designed for technical environments, everywhere from ice diving all the way to warm water diving, etc. It was designed for the military, hence the name, has the M in the front of it. And the military wanted a regulator that they could certify that would dive in anywhere in the world, whether it was cold water, ice diving, all the way up to tropical, warm, hot diving, etc. And this is kind of what ended up being the result. Now, the version you saw 2 years ago, like I said, did not have the control on it. It's the one I currently use right now. But just a couple unique features on it is overbalanced on the first stage. The nice thing about overbalanced is, like I said, the deeper you go in the water, the increased amount of pressure comes to the second stage. Okay, and then when you go ahead and inhale, it takes less effort. Okay, and that happens typically right around 35, 40 feet when you start to notice a difference. It starts at the surface, but you don't really start to notice it until you get down to 35, 40 feet or so. And as you go deeper, like I said, we've also, this particular regulator here has got swivel turret on the first stage. It's got 4 low pressure ports. Okay, it's got 2 high pressure ports. It's got a complete heat sink on it to keep it from freezing up in all environments, as well as the second stage. It's got a very large, oversized heat sink there, and it keeps it from freezing up and stop functioning. This one is the DIN version. Comes with a non-freeze cap on top, and of course, it does have the adjustable second stage. Okay, and this is our highest end regulator that we have, that we make in both brands. Well, in the APEKS line, it is comes in the yoke version or comes in the DIN version. Okay, and the reason why I'm showing you the DIN is because most technical divers are diving DIN. Okay, first thing, MTX-RC. Any questions? You can, like I said, you can put them in the notes or in the room at the end of it. All right. What's also nice about this regulator, we also introduced a side mount. So we have a side mount regulator set that is basically a derivative of this regulator right here. So both pieces of this. We also make this in a long hose version for the technical divers. We have a long hose version option. Okay. Okay, now, kind of a side note. One thing at APEKS is they're manufactured in Blackburn, England. APEKS itself, Aqua didn't acquire them until the year 2000, but they've always been a building in England, always been in a sustainable environment. They want to make new materials. They have antimicrobial second stage plastic and the mouthpiece, which is a really, today's time and frame, and makes a lot more sense what they started many years ago. But what they also do is they also make sustainable products. And one of those products that they make is a regulator that we're introducing this year. It is called this is not necessarily a technical version, but this is something that they're extremely proud of because over 85% of the regulator is recycled plastic, okay, or recycled materials. The regulator is called the XL4, which you guys are probably familiar with it. If you guys have looked at the site, there's the XL4, there's the XL4 Plus, which is the all-white version regulator, and that's made with standard materials, standard brass, etc. But this one is using, we partnered with the plastic bank, or APEKS partnered with the plastic bank, and basically all the materials that you see here, that the plastic stuff, everything you see in black is from the plastic bank. Okay, which is basically an organization that gathers up all fish nets, takes them, melts them down, makes them into sellable product or materials that you send out to sell to the different manufacturers for their molding processes. Okay, and on here we got, this is all recycled material on here, recycled rubber material, or that's on the silicone, recycled silicone that's on here. And the first stage, you're going to say, wait, recycled brass? It's not recycled brass, but it is it's called Valiant, and it is a sustainable, oil-free brass that's a little bit harder than normal soft brass. so it's more friendly to the environment as far as in the development goes. It is an overbalanced first stage, just like the old XL4 Plus. So it still carries that, still carries the balanced second stage here. So it's kind of an offshoot from APEKS in a way, because it's something that's more in the recreational driven, somebody that wants to be conscious about the environment, and that's the direction that Aqua and APEKS are going. And APEKS has been leading the way for a few years now, from solar panels on their building, etc. Recycled. The boxes are all recycled. We have our own machine that recycles and makes cardboard boxes from old boxes. So we have a lot of really unique things coming out of that company, and this is one of them. And this is going to probably be, I'm the rep for the Midwest, or for the Western United States, and I'm going to tell you, this is an extremely great regulator for travel. It's lightweight, second stage, so there's no jaw fatigue at all, and a very good performing regulator for all types of tropical, even local dive environments. Okay, XL4 comes in the mint, which is the hot color, and we also have one it's a little more conservative. It's gray. Okay, so it's a gray version. But those are the two colors that they're going to be using for all their products that they carry out into the sustainable product line, and we're really proud of this. The one thing that we couldn't get recycled, they made mention to me, was that the hose. The hose was the only thing we could not get a recycled hose the way it's made. Anyways, so if you guys have any questions, well, certainly you could call DRIS, look on their website, or see the backstory through the video link. Okay. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is we introduced about a couple years ago, we introduced a spool line. So APEKS spools were top of the line spools that you see out there in the environment. They're made out of aluminum, and we've made some improvements on them. Over the years, we got some good feedback, and we've already done our first generation, and now we're introducing our second generation of spools. The second generation of spools, basically, they're lighter. The hole that you use, you put your finger in there with a glove. So we've widened that out more. We've actually put a non-burring surface here on the edge, because people were saying, hey, look, there's a chance that maybe the line would break. And so we put a non-burring edge around both sides. We've widened it out a little bit more, so it's a little bit easier to turn and wrap when you're using it for, whether it's a set line. This obviously is a spool for a smaller, this is only 50 feet. And what's unique about our spools is that we introduced before was we use a really flat line. It's flat material, so it actually winds up very, very nice. Okay, it's not just a standard rope or line or nylon line or plastic covered line. It's a very flat line. It's sewn together, so it sews it together through a stainless steel swivel. Okay. And then you got a Delrin strap here that you wrap around either your SMB or wherever you're going to be making your attachments to with it. So this is a new line, like I said, new spool. So we have existing spools that do not have this, do not have the larger diameter hole here in the middle for when you have a glove on and you want to spin it off. So that's something really unique. This is the small one. We also make the green one all the way up to 500 feet. So we have different size ones that go up. This one is 15 meters, and then we go all the way up to 90 meters, okay, of the spools. Another product we introduced this year, it's called the Halo. And the Halo is a spool, but it is actually designed for SMBs. So you can actually get 3 fingers in there. And because the arbor is larger, fly fishermen, any fly fishermen out there, the arbor is larger. It takes less turns to pull your SMB back in, okay? And so each one of these comes with, it's the same type of line, same material, just a larger vantage point for holding and allowing it to spin as the line goes out, okay? What's also unique about it is that the line, each spool comes with a stainless steel double-ender quick release, okay? Double-ended bolt clip, sorry. All right, so that's on the spool line. The previous year, we introduced back with the old spools, I just want to reintroduce this and show this. We do have a line of reels. So we have high-end tech reels that control the speed on the side there. It's got the little divots on the top that people always ask me about. And the purpose with the divots on the top, this is being a guide reel. The purpose on the, like I said, the purpose is on these divots is when you have gloves on, if you have it open, it's just going to go and foul, right? The line's going to foul. What's nice is that when you have gloves on, your gloves won't just slide on the top of the plastic. It actually will catch into those little holes, and you have better control of the speed of the line as you're going down underwater and setting your guideline. Okay. We also introduced two other reels. Two other reels. One is called an Ascend reel, which is great for SMB. It's a trigger lock mechanism on both of those. So we have those available as well. Those would be on the Dive Right In website. You can go and take a look at it. And said, if you have any questions, what may have you, give us a call at Dive Right In, and we'll get you taken care of. All right. So let's move on to the next. Just kind of looking back and forth, but I think the next thing we'll show you is our lights. We introduced these lights last year, and the lights basically are our technical dive light line. So they're not inexpensive, cheap little lights. They're high-end lights that are made in England. Okay. So they're made in England from a company that makes high-end fire department, mountain biking type lights. Well-known, very well-known. And we've partnered with them on making dive lights. Okay. And one of the unique things about the dive lights that I see is it's completely integrated. You have an external charging port, okay, that goes in there. And then you also have a screen that does a lot of, I'm going to step over here. On the back of these lights, you have a screen that tells you how much charge. This one's 100% charged, right? Did you see that? 100% charged. Okay. And you can go through the light, and I can create programs, and then go through the programs. And each light has the ability to have different burn times. Okay. So basically, I'll give you an example when I say different burn times. This light here is the Luna ADV. Okay. It comes with the Goodman handle, which is nice. It comes with the nice aluminum Goodman handle. But this light actually lasts up to 36 hours. Okay. So it's 36 hours is one of the programs that you can actually program into it. There's a 24-hour, there's a 12-hour, there's an 8-hour, 6-hour, etc. As you move up and down the different programs, they all have different settings. Okay, so this one here, like I said, can last to 36 hours. Now it's at all different, obviously different percentages, but different lumens that you're going to have. The second one is called the Luna, and this is my favorite size. It does come with a hand grip for it, not like this, but a nice soft grip, and the soft grip holds it down. And this is the Luna, and it's a 5 cells, and then we have, or 3 cells, sorry, and then this is the 1 cell. This is the Luna, the basic one, Luna Mini. Okay, it comes in 4 different colors, and it does not have the screen on the back, but what it does have on the back is it has lights. It has the LED lights that you have with all of these, which is green, yellow, and red. Okay, which then allows you to do that. Takes 6 hours to charge this, 3 hours to charge this, and 2 hours to charge this. Okay, the 3 different versions that you see on these different lights. External charger, like I said, so you don't have to change the battery out or pull the battery out, stick it in a charger, etc. It comes complete. They come in these nice cases. So the big one comes in this case right here. The mini one comes in this case right there with the charger. Okay, like I said, this one, the mini comes in the green, orange, purple, and gray. All right, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Next product I want to show you is something that we're very excited at, and we just started delivering these about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they're doing very, very well for us. This is our new BCD. This is if you guys are familiar with the black ice, this is the the one that it's replacing. This is called the Exotech. And the Exotech uses a hard plate as a structure that is shaped like a Y going down. And it's connected to the waist plate. And if you see between the waist plate, I know it's kind of hard to see, in the middle of these two plates here is a silicone durable grommet, okay? And that grommet flexes the waist portion of the waistband. So the way that harness works is as you swim in the water and you're kicking up and your body's moving, the BC is not moving around you, okay? And this whole concept came from fire departments, and this is a Scott bottle shape. The Scott bottle is what they use to climb up and down the ladders, going into fires, etc., to give them air. This particular BCD has 3 different sizes on it, 2 different colors. So we have the orange, we also have the gray. It's got all the necessary hard points on it. This one being obviously the orange one, but that's got the same type of mechanism with our weight system. We have 10 pounds of releasable weight on each side. We have 5 pounds of non-releasable weight here. And because we're a tech company and they understand where weight systems and weights need to be structured, we also have on the top, back, upper shoulder, we have a place to put a 5-pound weight there and a 5-pound weight over here. The cell itself is a 52-pound lift cell. So, but when you swim with it, it's not flapping around because it's actually got this whole bladder retraction system in it, which is extremely durable, that brings it in nice and tight. BCD, you have the option to put the air source if you want to have it on there, but we're pretty excited about it. And then, of course, the midriff clip is no longer that snap clip that breaks all the time. There's a G-hook. So we have a G-hook here, and we also have a G-hook here on top of the tank. And this is using our system where this is actually the hard part of the tank is built into the actual base of the waistband. And by doing so, what that does is it takes all the pressure, all the weight of your tank off your shoulders and put it down to your legs, okay, like backpacking. Comes with our grip lock tank band. 4 dumps. It's got dumps on each side. Dump on top, dump on the right shoulder. Let's go the Exotech.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
How much lift does the Exotech have?
52.
52 pounds. All right, excellent. Yeah, that was a good question by Russ here.
52 pounds, 23 liters. Yeah.
Awesome. So everybody's been commenting how much they like the spools and the reels.
Yeah.
The lights look awesome.
I got one more problem. Am I almost done, time-wise?
We got a few minutes. You want to show it?
Yeah, I got something else. So this is what I'm excited about. This product's not coming out until July. This, of course, is the prototype that I attained for this presentation. So this is APEKS has been working since 2018 on a Trimix completely blown out computer with all the features that they keep adding onto it over the years. In 2019, we actually had a prototype at our trade show in our booth so people could see it and what changes we want to make. Over the last 2 years during the COVID time, we've actually had tech divers all throughout England and Europe dive this computer and provide feedback. You know, what things do we need to add? What things do we need to change on it in order to make it kind of an industry leader dive computer? First and foremost is this is a 100-hour burn time. Okay, it's a rechargeable battery, but it's 100 hours on the brightest setting that you're going to get with this computer. The other thing you're going to get with it is, I'm going to pull it up closer to you guys so you can see a better picture. Can you see that? Is that?
We can, yep.
Okay. So what you have with this computer is you have it's got GPS on it. It not only has audible and visual alarms, but it also has a vibrating alarm. It's a Buellman 16. You can change all the screens. You can change the color of the font. You can change the size of the font. You can do just about anything with it. We'll have an app, which is being finished up right now with this computer, that you'll be able to work directly with it. It's got a brand new screen and also a color new compass on there, waypoint finder as well. It's a feature rich. It has anything possible that you can put into a computer that you need, that's necessary. Okay. And that would be like a GPS. It would be nice to know where you started your dive, what your waypoints were, where you ended your dive. Okay. That's a logging type thing. And that's just something that you can share with other divers, or just for yourself, have it for your logbook. Like I said, it does up to 8 transmitters, 8 gases.
Closed circuit?
Full circuit, as well as closed circuit.
Excellent.
Ability. All right. And it comes
Very
with different straps. It'll come with, like I said, this is the prototype, so it's a 3D printed base on here. But it'll do. It comes in a nice little case with it. But there's one more thing it does have with it that's really unique. So it actually comes with a O2 analyzer. Okay, and so the O2 analyzer basically plugs into the side of the computer. You put the O2 cell in there, and then we have the connection and all the pieces that are inside there. You can't see it there, but you'll be able to check your tank. So you check your tank right there while you're on the dive boat. If you want to just double check it, it'll say on the screen, guest or no guest. Okay, then you'll click on it and say guest. Then it just lets the guy know he has 29.4%. If it's for you, it'll ask you what tank do you want it to be, tank 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it'll save that into your memory.
Chris, everybody's asking, transmitter compatible?
Yeah, 8 transmitters.
8 transmitters, and is it using the standard Aqua transmitter?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yes.
Excellent.
Yes. And also it's side mount. It is completely side mount, where it'll give you both pressures at the same time. There's a whole side mount program built into it, so you'll be able to do full side mount as well with it.
Perfect. All right. Well, we're cutting it close. Let's do one quick giveaway here. All right, guys. So we're giving away an APEKS regulator. Let's see who wins. Chris, thanks so much for the presentation.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We're all excited for the new kit. All right, Dave.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thank you for coming in. And, this one went perfect. No little technical snafus or anything. And I love it because we love APEKS here at Dive Right In. And guys, check out the new products online. We are pre-selling the DSX. We've got all the reels and everything. If they're not already in, they're coming in here soon. So check them out. And again, Chris, thanks so much for taking some time to
Thank you, guys. For us. Thanks for everything. Enjoy the weekend.
All right. All right, guys, thanks for joining the Time to Dive show. If you're just joining us here, I am very excited for our next presenter. We've got Annie from Light in Motion, and she's going to be showing us all their new lights over at Light in Motion. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Annie, I don't think I have a mic set up here.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfect.
All right, that's perfect. Awesome. Yeah, glad we were able to take that out of the way right now.
No worries. Yeah, get it done with quick.
Yeah. So my name is Annie. I'm the marketing manager here at Light in Motion, and today I'm happy to be showing some of our best-selling products, some of our new accessories. So let's get started, right?
Sounds great. I'll let you take it away.
Sounds good. So we've been leading the LED lighting industry for underwater photographers, bike and topside photographers for now 30 years. And we're known by having factory sealed lights that have a extremely compact design. So our Our known switch here is the magnetic switch control. We recently upgraded the switch so we would be a little bit more effective at greater depths. And they're extremely easy to use even when you're using gloves. So the way it works, here you can easily slide the switch forward and back to control the output and control the how much runtime you have in your light here. This light that I'm holding is the Sola Dive Pro 2000, which is the light that we recommend for divers that are looking to do several dives a day, that are looking for something to have an extended runtime. This light here varies from 60 minutes on its highest setting to 12 hours on its lowest setting, so you can really control the range of battery use and output. This one is also a spotlight, so it has a penetrating 8-degree beam, very good for signaling, and if you are in conditions where visibility is a little bit lower as well. So that's the Dive Pro 2000 here. This light here charges in 40 minutes, so it's part of one of our fast charge lights, just like the Sola Dive 1200. And aside from the charger that comes with it, it's also compatible with a USB-C dongle. So in this dongle, all you need to do is to plug any 45-watt USB-C charger, and you can charge your light if you're traveling, if you're trying to pack light for your dive trip. So that's a great advantage of the USB-C dongle. What else? We have over here, we also have one of our specialty lights, which is the Sola Night Sea. The Night Sea is a blue light that whenever you're using underwater, you're able... Hi, somebody said, Annie from Breakwater Scuba. Yeah, that's me. Whenever you're using this light, you're able to excite the proteins in certain organisms, such as some crabs, some algae. It's pretty interesting. The person who helped us to design this light was Dr. Charles Mazel. He's one of the pioneers with the whole underwater fluorescence sciences here in the United States. And he helped us to develop the best way to excite these proteins in these organisms. So if you can see here is a blue light. And then if you want to really see the results of the fluorescent proteins, you would have to block the blue light with a yellow filter. So you can use that in your mask. It comes with a little yellow filter for your mask. Or if you're planning to do underwater photography, you can use this yellow filter in front of your camera lens as well. This light here has the spot and flood mode, which varies from the 12-degree for spot and 60-degree for flood mode. So you also have some room if you're trying to do macro photography, or maybe if you're planning to do some like wide angle as well. What else? So now I'm going to present something that I personally love. I personally use these lights here. These are the Sola Video Pro 15,000, which is our most powerful light. They are great for underwater imaging. Of course, all of our lights are regulated, which means whenever you start, you put your light at a certain setting, the light will not dim throughout the dive. So if you're using doing photography, videography, that's very important because you don't constantly need to adjust your settings. There is something super cool that we released this year, which is the topside head for the underwater light here. So if you are an underwater photographer that also deep into topside photography, you don't need to purchase a new light. You can certainly just use a new head, topside head for your Video Pro 15,000. And that's the way it works. So you would have to unlock the bezel over here, remove the light head. This is the Pro 15,000. That's how the underwater head looks. And this is the topside head. So you can bring your underwater lights for topside business as well. So now let me show you how. So the underwater version you cannot use for topside, so you cannot bring outside the water, otherwise it will overheat. However, with your topside head, now you can bring the light over to the photography and topside locations as well. And then it varies. The only difference is in topside, it will only go to 10,000 lumens, not 15,000. It's a little bit less powerful, but it's still a lot of light if you're doing studio work, outside work. Something else that is exciting about the 15,000 is that we now release the different dome. So we have the blue dome filter and the green dome filters. You would use this if you're doing photography in green waters or blue waters to improve the white balance. And so you improve the results of your photography that way as well. Okay, I'm seeing a question here. What is the difference between the Video Pro 15,000 and the 12,000 model? The biggest difference is this one will go all the way over to 15,000 lumens at its highest setting instead of the 12,000 lumens. And then the difference, the new dome port is slightly different. So the new dome port allows you to change to add these new filters here. The great thing is if you already own the 15,000, you can purchase the 15,000 dome port and it's still gonna be compatible with that light. If you're looking for this feature of using the field replaceable domes. Okay. All right, something if you're looking also for a smaller setup, something you can use with a GoPro. We have our underwater tray, which is much smaller and compact. We also have a kit that's called the 2500 Flood Video Kit, Action Kit. It comes with a tray and choose Sola Video 2500 Flood. So that's a great cost-effective kit if you're trying to get into underwater photography. It will deliver up to 2500 lumens in flood mode. So it's, quite powerful. You have a total of 5,000 lumens. And this kit is also going for like $699. So it's pretty nice to get the tray and two lights for that price. Right. So what else we have here? We also have our extremely compact Sola Video Pro 3800. So this light here comes either with the dome port or the flat port. If you're trying to do wide angle photography, the dome port is going to be a little bit better because it has a wider beam spread. If you're trying to do more macro work, then I would recommend the flat port, which is a 90-degree beam angle. This light has a single source LED, just like our 15 Pro here, lights on the CLX10. And yeah, the output is going to be all the way over to 3,800 lumens. All of these lights are rechargeable, and they range from 105 minutes. So that's going to be the fast charge lights. And then the lower models will charge in 150 minutes. The Sola Video Pro will charge in only 90 minutes. So it's quite fast over there. So these are a few of the models I brought in today. But I also wanted to open to a few questions if you have any.
All right. Annie, and I do have that video for you as well.
Okay.
If you wanted me to pull that up.
Yeah, that would be great. So this is the Sola, the new Stella Pro Aqua Terra kit, which goes over how to change the mold there.
All right. Great
Thank
video.
you. Yeah, this is Karen Isla. He is one of our ambassadors up in Hawaii, and he absolutely loves to use the 15,000s. He does several shoots in like more rough environments as well. And the feedback we get is that our lights work the best in colder water environments. Our battery has the best battery life in those extreme environments.
Awesome. Well, we got a few questions in, so let's pop them up here. So Rob's asking, I love my laser pointer tech light. Any thoughts on bringing them back?
All right, so the closest one we have right now is the Pro it does have a lot more output. So that's the Sola Dive Pro 2000. So rather than 600 lumens, it will deliver 2000 lumens. And then the con is we lost the laser, which is a feature that a lot of divers really enjoyed, but unfortunately that's the upgraded version right now. So you get a lot more power out of it, and the battery runtime is much longer. It goes all the way over to 12 hours. This also has the 8-degree beam angle, so it's very narrow.
Excellent. All right, Ed's got a question. Is there any lumen loss between the spot and flood mode?
Yes, so that will vary. So let's use the Sola Dive 2500 as an example. The 2500 will deliver, at its highest setting, will deliver 2500 lumens in spot, in flood mode, and 1200 lumens in spot. But still, since the beam angle is much tighter, you can really see the intensity of the light. So you really don't need something that is more powerful than that in spot mode.
All right, excellent. And Jim's, go ahead.
I actually was going to just announce something that we are coming up this month. So we have Earth Day coming up in April 22nd. And with that, Light in Motion Dive decided to commit to become carbon neutral in 2022. So we partnered up with the Eden Reforestation project, and for every light that's sold, we're going to be committing to donate the equivalent to 10 to 15 mangrove trees. So a very cool project, and we're super excited to be part of it and to collaborate for a greener road as well.
Awesome. All right, Jim's got a question. How many recharges can we expect from the battery, and is it replaceable?
Very good question. So the big answer is it depends, right? It depends of how you maintain your battery. So what we recommend is that after a dive, you should always properly rinse your dive light and always store with at least 30% battery charge. What happens there is that the battery doesn't get into a deep discharge mode, and you can maximize the lifespan of that battery that way. So it depends on how you use your light. I have my Sola Dive 1200 for 6 years now, and the light still work very well. I may have lost a few minutes out of the runtime, but it's still strong and running pretty well for me. So I would say that, yeah, it depends on how you store it. But the light start out by, depending on the light, you have, let's use also the Sola Dive 2500. At its lowest setting, you have 200 minutes for with the full charge, and in its highest setting, you have 60 minutes. So you can really work it out by adjusting the modes there.
Yeah.
And then the battery is not replaceable. Just wanted to mention that out. It's factory sealed, is not replaceable. If you have an older unit that you think, there's something wrong with the battery, you can always reach out to our customer service team. We have a great team right here. We'll help out with support and finding a solution for that as well.
Excellent. Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of the double-edged sword. So many of us enjoy that feature about light motion that it's, there's no chance of you flooding it, really. You just plug it in the back, you charge it up, and then you're ready to rock and roll, and, it's very carefree.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all about making lighting easy and fun, and it's a lot more reliable. Every time you open a light to change batteries, you got to, be careful with particles, O-rings. So by the light being factory sealed, you don't really have to worry about all that. It's one less thing that you need to get ready when you're assembling your gear to go to the water.
Yeah. All right. So any other products you want to mention? So I mean, one of our favorites here is the 2500 video setup for the GoPro and for the smaller cameras. Perfect little price point. It delivers a ton of power, even for our poor visibility that we sometimes get up here in the Midwest. It really does well.
That's very true. That's one of my favorites as well. So let me get the pricing on this one. Yeah, so this unit here with 2 lights and the tray goes out for $649. So it's a great price point. Comes with this tray right here. It's compatible with a GoPro, and it comes with a Lifeline mount and these 2 lights that go right here. So you can easily change the angle for your underwater photography. The 2500 flood delivers a light in flood mode only, which is great for wide angle photography. And it also charges in 150 minutes. It's a great light and a great setup for people that are doing, GoPro underwater shoots.
Yeah, absolutely. And, so for someone that's just getting their first light, they also offer the 2500 combo kit. So do you by chance have any of the Gobies? Because that's a neat product where you can change out. If not, it's okay.
We have the Gobies 800 and the 1000s right now in stock. And then the 500s are coming in. And that's the one that is included in the kit. So it's a great started light. The price point is $100 for the 500. The 800 is $159. And they have interchangeable heads. They're very small, compact. They come with a lanyard. Another great model to start with, which was my first dive light, was the Sola Dive 1200. So it comes with this adjustable hand strap right here. And it has the flood and spot modes, factory sealed, regulated output. It's great, a great little light, and extremely compact too. So that's one of the great benefits of Sola lights. Like this.
Absolutely.
So all the dive models come with this hand strap, by the way. But if you want to use your current dive light for something else, you can change the mount for a ball mount or a lock line mount as well. So they're all interchangeable.
Is this for GoPro only, or will this connect to multiple brands? Or will this connect to multiple brands? Is it using a quarter 20 or?
So the tray right here, this specific one, comes with a GoPro mount, but you can remove that little part. And then if you have a camera that fits in here, you can use it. It doesn't need to be necessarily the GoPro. And then all the other mounts, they will be compatible with all the universal systems. So right now I'm using the arms over here, but they're also compatible with different lock lines, systems, and so you can use it with different standard uses.
Yeah, so as you grow as a photographer, videographer, or diver, you can take that light and introduce it into your kit and throw it on your DPV or whatever you're doing. And yeah, so that's one of the great features.
Yeah. Yeah, they're also compatible with the OTS full face masks as well. They have an adapter. You can easily connect that to the Guardian mask. So those are pretty handy as well.
Excellent. Any other questions, guys? All right, here's some coming through. Is there any fiber optic option with the lights?
Not with these ones because they're video lights, so you don't necessarily need that. We are coming up with a project that we may need in the future, but as of right now, no.
And Thomas has one. Do you have a tray that'll work with an iPhone case?
That's the only tray we currently have. But there are different brands that offer trays that will fit an iPhone. And with that, you can always add the Lifeline arms and connect these to our lights.
Excellent. All right. So we got a few minutes left. Mm-hmm. I know we're doing a little giveaway, so maybe we should do the sneak peek on that.
Yeah, definitely. So today we're gonna give away a Sola Dive 2000. So yeah, we're excited for that. It usually goes for $399. So today there's a lucky winner that's gonna get one for free.
Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and let's pick a winner. Let's make it happen. All right, Omar, congratulations. We will reach out to you after the show. We'll get your information, and we'll get that light out to you. Very cool.
Yeah, congrats, Omar.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for everybody watching. You know, if you didn't catch last year's show, I'm going to make sure it's posted on this year's Light in Motion YouTube link. It was very cool. It was a full walkthrough to the facility, so we'll have that for you guys to check out as well. You can kind of see where all the lights are made. That was a lot of fun last year.
Yeah, just as a little background, we are located right here in Marina, California, and we have our warehouse, factory, engineers, sales, and marketing all working in the same area. So we have huge integration among departments, and everything is built right here. So in the last time, we were able to take you guys to a little factory tour, show you how we build our lights, how we pressure test all of our lights before they leave our facility. So yeah, that was super exciting to show as well.
Yeah, so guys, just so you know, so we are recording this. We'll go ahead and chop it all up. Like I said, I'll have that one in the description so you guys can check that out. That was pretty cool. Getting the sneak peek of where everything's done. Annie, thanks so much for your time. Congrats, Omar, on the new light. I know you're gonna love it. Much appreciated.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Tim, and thanks for organizing such a great event. Yeah, we're excited to join again next year. And yeah, congrats, Omar.
Thank you. All right, guys. So now that you're all educated on lights, you want to go pick out a new light. We have a pretty cool coupon code going on until the end of the weekend, Light in Motion Show. I'll throw it in the comments here. Generous enough to offer 20% off on any of the dive lights that you saw here, along with a few others. So very cool. Thank you for everybody that's been watching the show. We've got a few segments left here. As you guys know, every half hour we have a new presentation. The next half hour here is going to be with Shearwater and with Simon. Getting him queued up right now.
Here I am.
Hey, Simon.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you loud and clear.
Good. I'll just move a little bit further back.
All right, guys. So as you're watching the presentation, go ahead and click on the raffle link. Shearwater is giving away a pretty big raffle prize, and I'm not going to take it away. I'm going to have Simon tell you all about it here.
Well, do you want me to talk about everything else first and keep the prize a secret to the end, or do you want me to talk about?
Why don't we do that? Yeah, why don't we keep it as a surprise? You got to watch through.
Let's keep everybody guessing a little bit. Well,
there you
first
go.
of all, everybody, thanks for joining us at the Dive Right In virtual show. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks again to Tim as well for inviting us for the second year. My name is Simon Morris, and I'm the sales manager for Shearwater. I started diving in 1973, and I started working at a dive shop in 74. And I've been around the world several times with most of the world, or several of the world's largest manufacturers. But I'm a newcomer at Shearwater. I've only been here since September of 2021, and I'm very, very happy to be here. So Shearwater got started in 2003 and basically was started by a gentleman named Bruce Partridge, who was an avid and passionate advanced open water or open circuit recreational diver, and then a rebreather diver. And Bruce had a background in computer systems design and embedded programming, and he wasn't very satisfied with the computer availability and functions for closed circuit rebreathers when he first started that, and he felt that he could do better. So in 2003, Bruce actually started building rebreathers on his kitchen table, in his garage, anywhere he could get a little bit of space. And the first prototypes were actual sort of aluminum and steel and glass prototypes that did the job. They were connected to the rebreathers with cables, and gave a very minimal amount of information, but very accurately and reliably. And so word began to spread, and Bruce was eventually inundated with requests excuse me, for the product, and went into full production and started building them. So the way that Shearwater entered the market was kind of upside down if you look at the normal triangle. When most businesses want to enter an industry, there's a triangle or a pyramid in most industries. And when you enter, you get in at the bottom where the mass market products are, with generally a simple and low-priced product that will appeal to the most of the people. And if you're successful, you start moving up the pyramid, and you eventually reach the peak of the pyramid, where the most high-tech, the most expensive, and the most well-respected products are, and you develop that reputation in the industry after years of hard work. And Shearwater started at the other end of the pyramid. They started out only making very high-end, high-quality, and pretty expensive products for advanced and closed-circuit rebreather divers. And it was the industry itself that kept pulling Bruce and Shearwater into creating products that would serve less technical divers, more of the recreational divers, and ultimately even entry-level divers. So now, after 18 years, starting at the top, Shearwater can offer a quality product to a diver of any level of sophistication. But getting back to a little bit of history, and today I want to give you, in 30 minutes, there literally isn't time to go into all of the technical details of every computer. I want to give you a little bit of the history and the evolution and how we've come to be where we are in the industry. So first of all, if you remember that Bruce's last name was Partridge, he obviously has an affinity for birds, and he has a love of the ocean. And this is how the name Shearwater was born, because obviously a shearwater is an oceanic bird. And so that's how that name got started. And most of our wrist-mounted computers to this day are named after birds that start with a P or an acronym that stands for something else. So the back in 2003 and through 2005, Bruce and Shearwater developed and introduced to the market 3 controllers. And again, they were essentially hand built in those days. And in 2006, they came out with the first real named product, which was the Pursuit. And the Pursuit had full deco capability, gradient factor assistance, and a monochrome screen. And that was very successful for 3 years. And then in 2009, the Predator was introduced, which had a full color, very, very bright, clear, and easy to read screen, really a game changer in the industry. It was an OLED screen, which stands for organic light emitting diode. It had a controller function for closed circuit rebreathers and was very popular with the OEMs. And it was also a standalone for recreational and advanced closed circuit and eventually OC divers as well. A lot of people don't realize that to this day, Shearwater provides monitors, controllers, external wrist mount, and internal control mechanisms and computers for many of the world's favorite and best known closed circuit rebreathers. So that remains a very important and integral part of our business. So if we go into, again, back to the P's and the bird names, 2 of our best-selling computers are the Perdix and the Perdix AI. And that's outside of the sort of historic origins of the company's products and moving into the more modern era. And a Perdix is a land-based bird, but it is a member of the partridge family. So that's where the connection is and how the name was chosen. So our motto is powerful, simple, and reliable. And what we try and do is give the diver as much information as we can without overloading him and having a super busy screen. So all of our computers have simple 1, 2, or sometimes 4 button operations, depending on the model, so that you can set the computer up to do the type of diving that you want, whether you want to use air, whether you want to use nitrox. The Perdix and AI can offer 3 levels of nitrox, all the way up to 100% O2. They have a large, easy to read screen, and they display the tank pressure and gas time remaining. And they're also capable of connecting up to 4 transmitters to it, so that you can monitor multiple tanks, multiple gases, and you can also do side mount scuba. So the versions are open circuit recreational, which gives you 3 gas nitrox compatibility, optionally air integrated. And for the open circuit technical, it comes enabled out of the box, ready for trimix. You just have to set it up. And again, that's both the Perdix and the AI being air integrated. The bezel is 316 stainless, and it comes with a 22 millimeter strap, or you can convert to elastic straps or bungees if you prefer. So I'm a bit far away to show you the screen, but even from there, you can see it's very, very clear and easy to read. And it's one of the things that we are absolutely famous for. So, the other thing that I forgot to mention is that it also has a digital compass incorporated into it, which has a 3-axis tilt compensation. So that's it for the Perdix and the AI. The next product to come along was the Nerd. And to the best of my knowledge, there is no seabird called a Nerd. Nerd is an acronym for Near Eye Remote Display. And it has become extremely popular for people working in very, very bad visibility and in what the police and safety divers call black water. But it's also really, really handy for photographers and videographers, because this is basically a Perdix AI in a tube. It is not just a monitor. This is the full computer. It can be mounted onto a closed circuit rebreather. This mount here is the mount for an ordinary regulator. So this part here would go on the right-hand side of the regulator. It's all set up with hinges so that you can put it in any position. And it's designed to sit right here, just at the very bottom corner of the faceplate of your mask. For the more commercial divers, police and public safety divers who would be wearing a full face mask, these attachment rod on the left-hand side also has an adapter, so it can be set in anywhere that you like. For videographers and photographers, it's very good, because if you're in the middle of a shot, whether it's a single shot or you're shooting a video, and you know that you need to have an update of your diving information, you don't want to have to put the whole system down and look away from it to look at your wrist. You simply have to glance down. And when I tried this for the first time, it sits right here. And I honestly thought that it was going to drive me crazy, because at first, your brain just can't leave it alone. You just stare at it. And then within about 30 seconds, you get used to it and it completely disappears from view. And it's only there when you really need it. And because it is so very close to the faceplate of your mask, even if the visibility is 0 or you're in water that's virtually mud, you could still see it, because there's virtually no water between you and the display. Inside the tube here are special magnifying optics that make the little tiny screen in the back look as though it's a 24-inch TV monitor set 14 feet away. So it's incredibly easy to read. And the other thing that actually we hardly ever talk about, because most people don't have eyes that are as bad as mine. I've had 7 eye surgeries and my eyes are getting pretty bad. And even underwater, looking at my wrist like this, I'm constantly having to move it backwards and forwards. This is my worst eye of the two. And with it here, I can still see it perfectly. So I like it very, very much in that regard. So again, it's basically, it's a Perdix AI in a tube. It stands for Near Eye Remote Display, and it gives you a great deal of reliability and flexibility. You can mount it on a regulator, on the fat hose of a CCR, or on the mounting rod on a full face mask. It has Bluetooth. It also has the digital compass. It has a 1,000-hour dive log to the Shearwater cloud. And it is currently in very, very high demand, again, in the police, military, public safety, and the professional photographers and videographers. It's a wonderful device. So the next computer that is AI was Shearwater's first foray into the dive watch market. And you can see it here on my wrist. It's the only product that we have that doesn't, other than the Nerd, that doesn't have the square streak screen. And this is a AM LED, which is active matrix light emitting diode. This is the same kind of very, very high quality, high definition screen that top end cell phones use. So it is incredibly easy to read underwater. Other than the Nerd, one of the easiest to read for sure. So it has full color, high resolution screen. It is both a watch and a dive computer. I don't know if you can see, but it's 3:45 here on in watch mode on the west coast of North America, and it has intuitive, smart, adaptive logic. It is programmable. It is actually our most capable dive computer because it does everything that the Perdix and Perdix AI do. It's good for technical rebreathers. It's good for air. It's good for trimix. And the thing that makes it stand out as well above everything else is that it is also probably the world's most capable freediving computer. And the founder of Performance Freediving, Kirk Crack, has come to us and said, without a doubt, it is the most capable freediving computer. And so you don't need a separate product for that. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. No, I don't think I did. So once we started getting into computers with air integration, obviously you need a transmitter from your cylinders and your first stage. So like everybody else in the industry, for the longest time, we were using a third party product, and we decided that we wanted to have our own. And so we built the Swift. Now the Swift is both a seabird and an acronym, and SWIFT stands for Shearwater Wireless Integrated Function Transmitter. And the nice thing about this transmitter is it has what's called collision avoidance in it. So it can transmit to different computers and the signals won't confuse each other. So it's got what's called a randomized transmit interval, and that allows for simultaneous use of multiple transmitters so that you can have more than one gas operating, more than one tank. You can have side mounts, and it won't confuse your computer. It has a depth limit of 200 meters of seawater, and it's got an operating range of 4 to 34 degrees C, and for short terms can tolerate minus 10 to plus 50 C. So it can work in pretty much anywhere else in the world, and it runs to 4,350 PSI. It has a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, and it has it's nitrox compatible, and it has, that's everything. That's all I have on the list. Sorry. So that's everything that the Swift does. So those are all of our air integrated computers and the Swift. And the final product that is starting to meet, not starting to meet, it's become our single number one selling product in numbers, is the Peregrine. And the Peregrine is our entry-level computer. It's an extremely capable product. It is not now nor never will be air integrated because we built it to reach a price point. And like anything else, the Peregrine starts with a P, and it is a bird. And the Peregrine is a falcon. It's a bird of prey. It's a raptor. And it's renowned for its speed of over 200 miles per hour. It's the fastest bird in the air and the fastest animal in the animal kingdom. The Peregrine dominates its environment from the Arctic tundras to the equator all over the world. And so we felt it was a fitting namesake for our best-selling recreational computer. The Peregrine is simple and easily accessible, full-color, multi-gas dive computer. It has simplified operation and is easy to use for divers of all experience levels. It's your ideal companion for many adventures. It has multiple diving modes. It has air for ordinary recreational diving, single nitrox for gas up to 40%, and 3 gas nitrox if you're going to be using different blends at depths all the way up to 100% O2. And the 4th mode is just called gauge, which just gives you depth time, a resettable stopwatch, and that's what that does in that area. So it has a full color 5.6 centimeter LCD screen. It has vivid and enhanced color range and saturation display. It has a simplified recreational model with full decompression support, and the diver can easily navigate and customize your gas levels, your conservatism and that sort of thing. It also has a wireless charger, and you get up to 30 hours at the medium brightness level, because one of the things that you can do is adjust the brightness level for your own eye comfort and the kind of water that you're in. But on medium, it'll give you 30 hours on a charge, and the charging station is included. And like our other products, you can adjust the languages that it reads out to you, and it'll give us English, French, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, German, Portuguese, Korean, Japanese, Italian, and Spanish. It also connects to the Shearwater cloud so that you can download up to, I think, 1,000 hours of your diving. So that is the Peregrine. And because it is our entry-level computer, many dive shops and some consumers still prefer to have, rather than a wrist-mounted computer, they like the console idea. So we built a modular style console that has a full pressure gauge that attaches to your hose. You can purchase a quick disconnect here, so you can take this valuable piece of equipment away and store it carefully. This comes in and out. The Peregrine comes in and out of the container. It has access ports so that you can easily access the buttons and operate it while it's in the console. The top end comes off here, and if you wish to, you can turn it into a 3-hole console just by snapping in the compass as well. So it's extremely versatile, and the dive shops are loving it because it allows them to bring a computer into their rental, and it gives the consumer an opportunity to try out and see if they're going to see the world of computers without making too much of an investment. And the charging port for it, they're all just USB. They'll plug into a phone charger or even your laptop. You can just sit it on here and it charges overnight, and you're ready to go again. So that is all of the basic history behind our products, and the not only the history behind the products, but the products themselves. And as Tim and I discussed earlier in the day, we do have a very nice giveaway. The Teric was the first model that we came out with that has a lot of fashionable items and functions and accessories that go with it. And a couple of years ago, we introduced a special model for the Chinese New Year, which had a gold bezel and a red strap, which is very popular in that culture. So this year we decided that we wanted to offer another, not a limited edition, but a special edition. And we went back and we started thinking about what is diving all about. And, you know, you very often hear that life is a journey, not the destination. And so we thought about how we're all on this journey. So we decided to call our special edition Teric the Journeys. And we couldn't think of anything better than Jules Verne and the Nautilus to really sort of sum up the sense of adventure that we all feel. So in recognition of that, we came up with the Journeys edition of the Terics. And that's the little charging port right there that just plugs into your phone charger or your laptop. And we went with the very retro look of a bronze bezel. If you look at the Jules Verne book and the movie and the submarine, the Nautilus, this is very fitting to that. And the box comes with a special wrap, and I hope you can see this. There's some really nice artwork about the Journeys and a picture of the Nautilus on there as well from Jules Verne's mind. Very interesting thing about the Nautilus and the impact that it's had on us. The very first United States nuclear submarine launched in 1954 was called the Nautilus. And it, you know, nuclear submarines are capable of of going around the world many times because of their power source. But the submarine paused at just over 60,000 miles into its journeys to have a celebration, because that is 20,000 leagues. So they had done the 20,000 leagues under the sea. And I thought for the US Navy to think of that and incorporate that into the history of the submarine was pretty interesting. So in honor of all of that, and because we really appreciate the work that Dive Right In Scuba does with us, and we're very happy to be here, we are raffling off the Journeys edition. I have to make sure I have it the right way up. We're raffling off the Journeys edition of our flagship Teric dive computer. So spin the wheel.
Right. Let's go ahead and get it pulled up here. Good luck. All right, Sarah, you have won an awesome prize. Thank you so much, Shearwater. And I got to tell you, we got something else that's kind of cool. Just get this out of here. So, you know, we love Shearwater computers. I actually just got my professional one in yesterday. So thank you guys. That I know.
That didn't take you long, Tim.
I told you. I was like, as soon as it's ready. You know, we're a demo center. So if you're local to the Midwest area, even if you're not local to the Midwest area, if you want to try out a Shearwater computer, get in touch with me or one of the guys here. It's something that's not really all that known, but I saw a bunch of comments. I'm a new diver. I'm interested. You know, it's a lot of money. What should I do? Try it out. I mean, that's really why I love where we're at, you know, with our job here, is we have that ability of, you know, being able to really get you into the perfect product. And, you know, it's probably going to have Shearwater in front of it, but let's find out exactly which one of the models is going to best suit you. So give us a shout on that. Another really cool thing is anybody that orders any Shearwater products this weekend is going to end up with some pretty sweet Shearwater giveaways. This is a little like chamois cloth. We got a nice Shearwater dry bag. So thank you guys at Shearwater. We're going to pass the love on to anybody that supports Shearwater this weekend. If you've been holding off on buying a computer, buying a Shearwater, pick one up this weekend, and we'll throw in a nice goodie and show you our appreciation as well.
You're making it absolutely irresistible, Tim, and we certainly appreciate that. It's been our pleasure to work with you and Dive Right In. And once again, thank you to everybody that's tuned in for this, and those that may come in and see it recorded. And once again, as I was saying, there's much too much technical information here to deal with in 30 minutes. So I do invite everybody to just simply visit our website at shearwater.com. The manuals and instructions and drawings and all of the technical data for every product that we have are all very clearly represented on the website.
Yeah, absolutely. And check out YouTube. It's a great resource for, hey, I want to know how it looks underwater, and I want to know how to switch gases, and, you know, all of those things. So it's the great thing about making a great product. Everybody wants to show it off and give you the in-depth details on it. Simon, thank you so much. Shearwater, thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. You have a great night.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. We have one last presentation for today. It's been a long day. I appreciate you all. I see a lot of the same names coming up here in the chat and in the wheel. I appreciate you guys all coming out and watching the show. Tomorrow is going to be a whole nother day of presentations. So every half hour, as you know, we have a nice little raffle giveaway. Every time you've entered your name into that raffle, let's see if Mark's got the current tally up for me. It is, I think it's going to be close to 3,000 people so far in the raffle giveaway for the $1,000 shopping spree tonight. We'll do that right after this last segment. But with no further ado, let's go ahead and get our next presentation up. So Highland Scuba is one of the technical, or is the technical brand for Excess Scuba. and we're huge fans, and we're looking forward to hearing from you guys again and seeing what you have to present for us.
Hey, Tim, thank you very much, and thanks for saving the best to last. We really appreciate that. And we're back, and just to remind you, I'm Tom Phillip, Director of Product Development at XS Scuba in Highland, and this is Russell Buckingham, Director of Sales. And Highland may be a new name for some of you, so a little quick background here. Highland started out as Highland Millworks in New Jersey back in 1992. A gentleman named Joe McGrath founded the company in a barn in the back of his house, behind his house. And his first product that he took much pride in was building stainless steel tank bands. And they were of the highest quality, very exact, tight tolerances. The idea was by having tight tolerances, you can protect the manifold that sits atop the twin cylinders. And so he did a fabulous job on these. And my understanding is he had 98% market share back in the day. Sadly, Joe passed away in 2008. And prior to his passing, he reached out to XS Scuba and asked if XS Scuba would carry on the product line, which we gladly accepted. And he knew that we could maintain the quality that he had started so many years prior. So what XS Scuba did was they kept the name. They shortened from Highland Millworks down to Highland, and they moved the facility and the manufacturing to Minneapolis so it could be next to our Sea Pearls location. But the tank bands continue on today, made in the USA, and they are of every bit the quality that Joe McGrath did back in the early days. So we weren't content just doing tank bands only. Highland established a reputation for quality in the technical field. And so slowly, methodically, we started expanding the Highland line. And so one of the first areas we got into were stainless steel hardware. And we'll move over to our table camera here and just show you a few of the many offerings. So what makes our hardware different? Let's start with a basic double ender. Most of the hardware that has some sort of movement in it, like a double ender does, is made out of 316 stainless, which is rare anymore because it does cost a little more. We go out of our way to shop for and look and hunt down the highest quality we can find. We have upgraded springs inside the double enders, and the result is a movement that is smooth like butter. They don't grind, they don't jam up, they don't skip, they just slide very smoothly up and down. And that's what we expect from the highest quality hardware. Products like these are readily available throughout China, and that wasn't going to do it for us. And you'll see a lot of it in the industry. But what's important to us is to get something that works very smoothly, very high-end feel to it. We brought in several other types of stainless steel hardware. This might look familiar to some side mount divers. A 4-bar slide with an angled D-ring. Great to put on your belt for doing side mount. So, and there's so many. There's billy rings. There's spring clips. This next one here is a T-retainer. Maybe some of you are enterprising and want to build your own weight harness. You can use these T-retainers with 2-inch webbing to build a harness. We have a Garvin hook. Garvin hooks are used with john lines. We'll get more into that in just a moment. Used to hook onto a descent line or an anchor line doing a safety stop. And we bring in practical stainless steel hardware also, such as these split rings. We have circular ones, and this is a teardrop one. This is what you use to attach car keys to a D-ring or a retractor or a flashlight. You could attach any number of things, but stainless steel D-rings guaranteed not to rust. But if you look at the Highland website, you will find that there is pages and pages of different types of hardware to choose from in all sizes. After we did the stainless steel hardware category, we started expanding by getting into accessories. And there are similar accessories in the marketplace, but for Highland, we wanted to think through these and our challenge was, how do we make an accessory smarter, better, and for lower cost? And this is a good example right here. This is a John line, if you're not familiar with it. A John line, using the loop on the back, will mount to a chest strap or a waist belt. And when you get to your deco stop or your safety stop, you deploy it by pulling out this Garvin hook, and in this case, 6 feet of paracord. And the Garvin hook will just snag onto the descent line or the anchor line of the boat. Then you can play out the line and you can fly yourself like a kite. And you can be hands-free, safety stop or deco stop, just being attached to the descent line with the Garvin hook and your John line. Now, whenever you see these John lines pictured online, in almost every case, the picture is shot with the Garvin hook outside of the pouch, because the Garvin hook, being very three-dimensional, it doesn't sit in the pouch well. And so with the others, we notice that you cannot install the Garvin and close the pouch. So what we did with ours is we made an asymmetrical flap on top. And the idea is that the Garvin hook can sit off to the right. You can stick the paracord inside of it, and you can close the unit with the Garvin hook inside it. No one else is doing that. The other thing the others have done is they used 1/2-inch webbing. And the problem with webbing is it snags on the hook on the flap, and it frays into a big bird's nest. It gets nasty looking. What we opted to do instead of webbing is we use paracord, and paracord that does not attach to the Velcro hook. And we use stainless steel D-rings attachment D-rings instead of plastic. So this is just an example of little things we do to make our accessories smarter and better and still offer them at a very good price. Okay. Other accessories we have are tech pockets. Last year we introduced a line of tech pockets. There's 3 of them altogether. This one you're looking at is a hurricane pocket. They have multiple attachment options. In this case, we added the optional quick links. The quick links don't come with it, but there are 2 stainless steel D-rings for mounting. And so a logical place would be to mount this on the bottom of your back plate. But maybe you want to mount it on your side on your harness. And so if you want to put webbing through it, you can open up the loops, and then you can lay the webbing inside it. And this prevents you from having to unweave your back plate if you want to attach a pocket. Taking the pocket on and off is very simple. So you've got multiple attachment options, but some of the nicer features are there's 2 pockets in one here. And so there's 2 zippers, and we put 2 different size pole bobs on the zippers. One's black, it's larger, one's gray and smaller. And the idea is if this is on a back plate behind you, you can operate it blindly. By feeling the pole bob, you know which zipper you're accessing. So if we access the accessory pocket in the front, inside you'll find a stainless steel D-ring on a tab where you can attach your accessories so you don't lose them. And then the main pocket, inside we have 2 stainless D-rings that come out on a 3-inch lead, so you can attach your accessories and no fear of losing them. So 3 attachments inside, different size zipper pull bobs, and multiple attachment options. That's called the hurricane pocket. The next pocket in the series is called the Tempest, and it's more of a vertical orientation. It has an accessory pocket out in front. And then the main compartment is interesting in that the zipper is located right next to the stiffener back plate. And we move the zipper as close to the back plate as we can so that you can operate it with one hand and the zipper doesn't jam up. It's easy to open and close with one hand. Now inside the main compartment, you'll find stainless steel attachment D-ring, and you'll find 3 accessory loops where you can attach your accessories. Technical pockets are great. So Hurricane's the horizontal orientation. The Tempest is the vertical orientation. Other accessories that we make are the V weights and the tail weights. If you would like to add some lead to one of your back plates, the V weight, which sits in the channel and attaches with book screws, actually has a pocket on each side that runs the length of it, a 10-inch pocket, and you can fill that with lead shot. So you just take a funnel, stick it in there, pour some lead shot in, again, the pocket on the front, pocket on the back. And then also hanging from the bottom, Highland makes tail weights. You can put a block of lead in there, a 5-pound block, or up to 6 pounds of shot lead in there. So if you want to add some lead to a back plate, V weights and tail weights are a good way to go. Now, we have done quite a bit of innovation within the Highland line. I'm going to show you a couple things that we brought to market we're happy with. One is called brass and snap gauges. These are high quality brass gauges, but the body of the gauge has got an attachment machined right into it where we can attach a stainless steel shackle. And this is a great way to mount SPG to your harness without having to, use string to tie a hook to the hose. So it's all integrated. So that's a brass and snap. Another nice innovation that we brought last year are called weight plates. And weight plates are a quick way to attach a block of lead to a piece of 2-inch webbing. You may want to, if you're a free diver, you may want to attach it to your weight belt if you need more lead, or if you're a technical diver and you want to attach the lead to the harness. So Russ will demonstrate here. If you lay your weight plate flat, lay a piece of webbing across it, and you can drop the lead down, run the bungees right through the slots in the lead, and then you just stretch the bungees over the edge of the lead weight so they crisscross, and you can see here how they lay inside the knots. And thanks to the diamond shaped studs on the front of the plate that bite into the webbing, it does not slip. It is stationary. So an instructor could swim right up to a student and add a block of lead to their belt without having to lace it through. So it's very versatile. Quick way, if you need 2 pounds, you can swim back to the boat, get a 2-pounder and a weight plate, and quickly add it to the harness or the weight belt. Okay, I think what we'll do now is move back to our other camera. Let's start with one more accessory here. Working in tight confines here. This is a stage bottle set. We make this in 3 different diameters. We make one for 4.4-inch cylinders that would work on aluminum 13s and 19s. Those are great if you want to attach a bailout bottle across your chest. Then we make one that's for 5.25-inch diameter cylinders like an aluminum 30 and 40 like you see right here. And again, this could be a stage decompression bottle, a hang bottle, whatever you want to do with it. And then there's a third size, 7.25-inch diameter, that's used for aluminum 80s. So 3 different sizes are available, depending on which cylinder you want to use. Some of the nice features on these sets are they are vertically adjustable. Using the slide bar right here, you can change the length of this. So the diameter can be for a 30 or a 40, but you might want to shorten it up for the 30, and you have that option. And then you've got a very large, wide handle right here to carry it with. And then we use high quality materials for the hose retainers with a web tab on them to stick the excess hose in there. And then we've got a fabric covered clamp down here. So again, 316 hardware, really smooth operating clips on here. And so these are stage bottle sets, 3 sizes. So as Highland grew and we went from stainless steel accessories to and tank bands, stainless steel hardware to accessories, we kept growing, and we got into back plates and wings. And so, being good at stainless steel, we came out with our first back plate. A stainless steel back plate weighs about 5 pounds. What makes ours exciting and better than many? We have far more attachment points on the perimeter, which is nice. One of the features I like, if you're going to attach a single cylinder directly with cam bands, we have a series of 4 slots in our plates. Most plates, if you look at them, will have 2 slots. If you run a cam band through 2 center slots, the cylinder tends to swing like on a piano hinge. It's not very stable. But by having 4 slots, it secures the cylinder and keeps it from wobbling. And you can see on this one here from Russ, the cylinder has no left-right wiggle to it whatsoever because the cam bands are run through all the slots. Okay, so this one is stainless steel, weighs about 5 pounds. After that came the aluminum, same plate configuration, but it's anodized aluminum. They're black, and they weigh about 1.5 pounds, but all the same cutouts and the same features. The latest addition that we really enjoy is a super ultra lightweight dog bone plate made of aluminum, 1 pound, 1 ounce. It's ideal for a travel setup. One nice feature about the aluminum is it comes standard now with anti-friction roll bars on the back. Okay, so they are integrated and snap right onto this particular plate right here. Now, what if you have a plate already aluminum steel and you like the idea of having these roll bars? We have roll bars available. If we can go back, there, that's good. Hold on this camera.
I'm going to hold this one.
Yeah. Let's show this. Pull that back for a moment. This is an anti-friction slide bar, and it can be used with any back plate. And to give you a little idea of what this device does, when you run a continuous weave harness through a plate, you're running the harness through parallel slots, and the harness takes a very tortuous path. And then when you go to tighten the shoulders by pulling on the waist, it's a very, very difficult pull. But if you put the anti-friction slide bar in place, as you see on this one, now when you go to tighten the shoulders by pulling on the waistband, the webbing pulls through the plate much, much nicer. So again, they come standard with our dog bone plate, but they're an optional accessory, Highland accessory, to use with other back plates. Go back to this camera. Okay. New for 2022, we developed a Backpad that mounts with the plate. The Backpad comes with the 4 attachment book screws, in this case plastic book screws. So if you're a minimalist, you're wearing thin exposure suits, you're traveling, you're wearing Lycra, the Backpad is a really nice addition so you don't have to feel the plate on your back. Now this particular Backpad has a hidden pocket in the bottom of it, a storage pocket where you can shove an SMB up inside there or a lift bag or some other accessory. It's a real easy access storage pocket. So after expanding the line of plates, we wanted to expand the line of wings. So originally we had a single cylinder wing, 37 pounds. We added a 45-pound twin wing, and new for 2022 is our new 20-pound travel wing. And we take great pride in this wing, we put a lot of thought into it, and there's some nice features on it that may not be apparent right up front that are very important. One of the things with all our wings is we put a vent right in the top because air gets trapped between the layers. You have an outer bag and an inner bladder. When you jump off the boat, if air is trapped between the layers, that's inherent buoyancy and it slows your descent. So all of our wings come with a vent on the top. They also have drain holes on the bottom so water can drain out when the dive is over. But this particular travel wing has a nice handle on the top center that you can use, carry the wing by itself, but when it's built into a complete system, you can use this to carry the system around. We added a loop, an accessory loop to run the corrugated hose through. We use a custom MeFlex carbon hose that goes to the technical K inflator. This hose comes from Italy. It's very pliable, very lightweight. On the back, we have what are called anti-roll bars. If you're not using a single tank adapter, these roll bars, when this wing is clamped to the cylinder, it keeps the cylinder from rotating or swinging left-right. And if you don't want those, they can easily be removed. They're just Velcroed in. Those are the anti-roll bars. We put 4 cam slots in our wings. Many wings have no cam slots at all. This just gives you more options, more versatility to build a system. Maybe you don't want to use a single tank adapter plate. Instead, you want to use just cam bands, and you can do that with these slotted wings. The outer bag's made of 1,000 denier. We have 210 denier inside, and so it's very rugged. But what we're excited about is when you take all these pieces and put them together, and this is what we see on Russ right here. This is our new travel setup for 2022. So what we have here is a 20-pound wing, very low profile, the dog bone plate, and the back pad we talked about. We have 2 Highland twin cam bands here with stainless steel buckles. Our harness comes with shoulder pads on it. Lots of accessories, 2-inch stainless steel D-rings, hips, shoulders. We have stainless steel buckles in the center. We have crotch straps with D-rings front and back. So you have a scooter ring. Those D-rings are riveted in place. But you can see on Russ, this is a very compact, lightweight package. It's ideal for travel, but it's also great for those times you just feel like being a minimalist, not having the drag, wanting to be really streamlined. This would be the plate wing setup for you if you did that. All right, there's only a few minutes left here. Take that out. So we just to recap, Highland has grown from the stainless steel tank bands to stainless steel hardware to accessories, and we only touched on a very, very small percentage of the accessories here today. There are many to show you. Then they expanded into plates, back pads, harnesses, wings. So what's missing? Well, I'm here to tease you. What's missing is a technical regulator, a regulator that can go in very cold water, that can go deep, that's great for cave and wreck penetration. That regulator is debuting this summer, and I decided to just end this video teasing it because they're not in stock yet, but they are getting close, and you're going to see the first offering of a Highland technical regulator arriving this summer. And the name of that regulator is the Vortex, the Highland Vortex.
As Tom mentioned, we're very excited for the Highland brand. The Highland brand is expanding significantly, and we can just continue to put a lot more behind it. We recognize that it's very well sought after. People are looking at it attached to XS Scuba, and just they're getting the same quality from XS Scuba products as they are in Highland. And so we are extremely excited and continue to just put the team behind it and have Tom designing great products. But that to say, we're also excited, and we know because we have a technical crowd here today, it was important to do some sort of a little bit more technical giveaway. So we got some Highland weight plates we're going to actually give away, Tim. And then we actually have some Highland wet notes. So winners today are going to get one of these packages. It's our Highland weight plates, and we think you're going to love them. So Tim, if we want to cue that up, let's give some of these away.
Sounds great. I'm pulling it up right now. All right. Some weight plates are headed to John W.
Congratulations,
All right.
John.
Why don't we do another one here?
Another weight plate? All right.
All right.
Yeah, Martha.
Great.
All right.
And we have the Highland Deluxe Wet Notes.
The deluxe wet notes. David. All right, guys.
Congratulations, David.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We appreciate you having us on today, and we're excited about the Highland brand, and we know Driss has been giving us good feedback, and we've seen a lot of the things that you've given us and taken them to market, and so we're just excited for you to continue to support the brand, and looking forward to 2022, and we think your customers are going to enjoy everything they get from Highland.
Yeah, we appreciate everything XS Scuba and Highland have to offer. Russ, your back's got to be killing you. I was watching you for a good solid 15 minutes there with the steel plate on your back.
Yeah, you know what? It's a pretty comfortable system, surprisingly. I've had an opportunity to dive it a few times now, and I'm very pleased with it. And we try to make sure that we personally are diving everything that we're selling. So we're not just throwing it out there. We're actually diving it and speaking to it appropriately.
We actually filled it with helium, so it didn't weigh anything.
Yeah, so you guys mentioned it during the XS Scuba, presentation, but you're trying it out. You're hearing the customer feedback. You're hearing the retailers' feedback, and you're making those little changes, to make the product better. And I think that means a ton. We definitely appreciate it. I know the consumers appreciate getting better gear every year.
Tim, you heard my phone getting a text message in the background. That was my boss telling me to give away another thing of weight plates.
Okay, let me get the screen pulled back up here.
You gonna keep going?
Okay, it's popping up right now. All right, Eric W.
Saved by the bell, I should say.
Awesome. All right, let me get rid of this here. Guys, thanks so much for coming out today. We greatly appreciate the two presentations. I know I learned some things during the Highland presentation. I'm sure our viewers did as well, and the people that are going to watch this over the next few weeks, months, year. So we appreciate you so much.
Great. We appreciate you as well. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for the opportunity, Tim.
Thanks, guys. All right, guys. So as you've been seeing throughout the day, some amazing presentations from the different vendors and manufacturers and everything. We had a little bit of a technical hiccup. I appreciate everybody that came back to find it. Just know if that happens tomorrow during the show, same thing's going to happen. We're just going to shut down real quickly. We lost the feed to a Facebook page. We shut it down real quick, got it right back up within a few minutes. So we appreciate you all on that. I am currently pulling up our grand prize. Oh, too big? So it's too big for the wheel. Okay, guys. So what we're going to do, Mark, my counterpart here that's been helping me throughout the entire day. Here's Mark. So Mark that's been helping me here. We're going to go find a solution for this. We're going to come back live throughout all the different channels here, and we're going to do the last final giveaway. Guys, tomorrow's a full another day of presentations, starting at 10:30 Central, going all the way till 6:30 Central. We're going to kick it off with some great presentations, half-hour giveaways, another $1,000 shopping spree, and then the trip to St. Croix to go do a nice dive trip. We appreciate you, everybody. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 10:30, but Mark and I will be here momentarily once we get the technology squared away to fit all the names. Thanks, guys. And a few folks are asking to enter to get into the final giveaway. If you entered into any of the raffles today, your name is in that list. And if you entered in all 16 presentation, your name's in there 16 times, and you're maxed out. All right, guys, have a great night. We'll see you here shortly with the raffle.